Hello there, Moist Charlie Clips spectators. I don't know how to express the wackiness of today's story and also just how embarrassing it is for me to even talk about, but I'm one of the few users of Sony Vegas. Sony Vegas is an editing program that's been outdated for like 15 years now. All of my friends still tease me for using Vegas in 2023. It is a bit laughable, I admit, when there's so many other options. I have just grown so close to it. I started making videos on YouTube back in 2006, started editing videos in like 2007 with montages and all of that shit, which means I needed an editing program. Prior to Sony Vegas, I was using the built-in capture card program called Pinnacle Studios. It was packaged with the capture cards at the time called Dazzles and Dazzle Platinum. So from Pinnacle Studio, I realized I couldn't edit at a high level for montages, and I was also doing anime music videos at the time, so I couldn't do that with Pinnacle Studios because it was basically just Windows Movie Maker, but with a couple extra bells and whistles, a couple more jingling keys. The only effects you could really do in Pinnacle Studio was changing the color or adding a TV static stock effect to it. Past that, you were shit out of luck. It was pretty fucking archaic. So I upgraded to what was the premier editing software at the time, like the best of the best that everyone was using on YouTube, Sony Vegas. So I got Sony Vegas 7. This is literally fucking 2007, 2008 software, and that's when I really started to learn how to edit. And I've never been good at it. I just do the bare minimum of editing, but I've always used Sony Vegas. I'm a ride or die Sony Vegas enthusiast, a Sony Vegas enjoyer. And right now, there is an unforgivably awful and literally product ruining bug that every single one of us is experiencing, all 12 Sony Vegas users left in the world. And that is, you can't launch the program. Full stop. You can't launch Sony Vegas as of right now. And you haven't been able to for the last 3 days. 3 days without a single response from this company, by the way, because I'm pretty sure that the owners of Sony Vegas, I believe it's Magix, I'm pretty sure they've forgotten that it even exists. Because it basically just collects dust. Almost everyone uses other editing programs nowadays. No one is really on that Vegas train anymore except for me and a couple other diehards that grew up on it. But even still, don't spit in our mouths and call it a beverage. Like, there is a problem when the fucking software itself won't launch. I'm not exaggerating. Type in Sony Vegas on Twitter right now, go to latest, and look over the last 3 days. Every single person is reporting that they can't launch the software. It does not work. What happens is when you try and launch Sony Vegas, it'll bring up the starting screen and then immediately close itself. It doesn't even last long enough for you to go in the task manager to change priority or anything like that. There's really no tricks about it. It instantly closes itself. Now, in this video, I'm going to give you a workaround if you happen to use Sony Vegas, because you might have realized I have edited this video right now. This all isn't one continuous take. I have trimmed it in Vegas, which means I've gotten it to work, thanks to a couple of galaxy brain geniuses on Twitter that came up with a solution. But it's very primitive what the solution is. Do you want to know how to solve it? I'll just go ahead and give it to you right now. The way you solve Sony Vegas not working, not launching, is you unplug your Ethernet cable. If you are not connected to the internet, Sony Vegas will work. The problem only happens if you have access to the internet. So you have to you have to take away internet access right now for Sony Vegas to work. That is the only way over the last 3 days to get the program to start. That's it. Though there have been a couple other people that reported if you set your computer clock prior to May 2nd, it'll work, but I haven't bothered to try that because unplugging the Ethernet solves it too. But yeah, on May 2nd, something went awry. A full fucking plague broke out in the machine here of Sony Vegas and has completely ruined it. It was like a nuclear bomb to the Vegas infrastructure. It doesn't load at all. It doesn't work. And there hasn't been any updates from the company about their plans to fix it or anything. So right now, all you can do is just unplug the Ethernet and edit offline. That's it. That's the solution. Which is crazy. That is such a primitive solution and the only way of getting it to work. Which is so par for the course for Vegas. When I first started experiencing this issue on May 2nd, I thought it was because I was still using Sony Vegas 19. So I spent $150 to upgrade to Sony Vegas 20, thinking that my files had corrupted or like maybe something just went wrong. I had that light bulb go off in my head with a great idea of just upgrading, because surely a fresh install of the latest and greatest from Magix with Sony Vegas 20 would fix everything, because why wouldn't it? So I spent $150 only for the problem to still continue, because it just doesn't work when you're connected to the internet anymore. So that was $150 I wiped my ass with. That didn't solve the problem. Just completely wasted that. But I guess now I've got Sony Vegas 20, which has like 3 new features, maybe, if that. I don't even know. I think all I did really was change the number on it and nothing else, because I haven't noticed anything different. But yeah, that's the solution. If you're using Sony Vegas, unplug your internet if you want it to work. That's all I got for you. Sorry to hit you with the cold water, but Vegas isn't exactly the best program in the world. But you know what? Even in light of all of this, the complete radio silence from the company about the issue, I'm still going to probably just stick with Sony Vegas. I don't feel like learning Adobe Premiere or anything, so I'll just have to keep unplugging my Ethernet in the meantime to make this fucking program work, which is silly. Maybe Magix will watch this video and be like, oh, there's a problem? It's a shame we fired the whole team. It's not getting fixed. Fuck you, buddy. In all my days, 28 years on this space rock we call Earth, I haven't seen a bug like this that wasn't immediately being worked on to be fixed. 3 days! This program hasn't even been able to launch for any of its users. Paying customers. It's not cheap software. It's like fucking 200, 300, 400 bucks or something. Fucking hundreds of schmeckles being pissed away on this program that won't even launch, and the company behind it has not even made an announcement about looking at it or being made aware of it. Just complete silence. Crickets. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. But so par for the course, I suppose, for the legacy of Sony Vegas. Hopefully it'll get fixed, and hopefully if it doesn't get fixed, this has helped some of you Sony Vegas users out there, so you can continue to edit at the highest level. Some people edit full fucking movies on Sony Vegas for YouTube, so that's going to be devastating for them if they can't fucking launch this program and can't figure out why or how to fix it. Because it's not exactly the most intuitive solution. There's no reason why having internet access should have this program immediately close itself. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't use anything from the internet. Fucking Sony Vegas itself almost predates the internet. Like, it's not like it needs this constant access to it. So it makes no sense why it won't launch if you have internet access. Nothing about it is intuitive. Nothing about it is sensical. But anyway, just wanted to talk about this wild bug here and also give you all the solution in case you use it. So that's about it. Oh, also, maybe Sony Vegas 21, whenever that rolls around within the next decade, maybe that's the one where Sony Vegas finally turns it all around, and that's a great program, perhaps. You know, maybe we'll see them actually start to care about it. That's about it. See ya.